Are you a mama expecting and trying to decide between a cesarean or a vaginal birth? Tune in. This is the podcast for you. Welcome to From Her Side podcast. I'm Charlie Lotus, but please call me Lo.
I'm Theezy, Theron Loudermill. You can call me whichever you prefer.
My husband.
Yeah, you can. Well, y'all can't call me that. Get me
My
choked
husband.
Up. But yeah.
And we are here. We are here to talk about cesareans and vaginal births. Which one better? Why and why not? And my experience. But remember, this is not medical advice.
This is not medical advice.
Repeat after us. This is not medical advice.
Consult your medical professional.
Yes.
All that. This is just experience.
Yes. Which we've had a lot of experience.
Yes,
we
she's
have
cracking over here. She can't keep her hands to herself. But continue.
Do you think people actually believe you when you say that?
I think they do.
For those of you who don't know us, we have 4 daughters that were all born within 4 years, and we have one on the way.
Yep.
And so...
we don't know what it is.
Yes.
So we don't know if it's a daughter or a son. So, God willing, it'll just be a healthy, beautiful baby.
Yes, we do surprise births, and we are going for our second home water birth.
Yes.
So we're super excited, but we also wanted to have conversations around the experiences that we've had, because we've literally had pretty much every experience at this point, except a planned C-section.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
So what, I know this, but for the viewers out there, what led to an emergency C-section, and how did that hurt? Like, you knowing that wasn't part of your birth plan?
Oh, man. Well, let's just state for the record that I wanted to not make it to the hospital in time. That was my birth plan.
Right.
my birth plan was, I don't know what this is going to be like.
Right.
But if I am somewhere where there are no medical interventions, then I can't be stuck, poked, or cut open and be forced to essentially labor and deliver how our ancestors did, right? Once again, this is not medical advice. That was just my hope. My hope was that I would be in a position where I would be forced to, essentially, because I had no idea what to expect, really. I mean, I don't think any first mom truly does. First-time mom. Emergency C-sections, when you think of that, you automatically think complication, right? We were just too early, and there were things wrong medically, health-wise, that we weren't aware of, and we went into our 36-week appointment and ended up, having to do NST testing, non-stress testing, and my blood pressure was through the roof, and labored for 4 days, and essentially because my waters had been popped for too long and I wasn't progressing fast enough, that we needed to move forward to get the baby out safely. Hey mama, quick pause. I hope you're enjoying the conversation. Have you ever felt exhausted and overwhelmed by motherhood? I totally get it. Truth is, you're a better mama when you get a good night's sleep. That's why I created this live event called the Better Mama Sleep Club's 3-Day Sleep Challenge, where I will teach you everything you need to know in 3 days to get your child to sleep peacefully throughout the night, so that you can be more rested, joyful, and present with your little ones. Make sure you click the link in the description below, because there's only a limited amount of spots, and I would love to help you through this season of your life. Let's get back to the conversation.
So what shocked you the most about the surgery? I know we had to get the baby out safely, but what shocked you the most about the surgery?
Well, one, I don't think I was mentally prepared for it.
Mm-hmm.
2, I remember the physician telling me, you're going to be extremely sore because you labored for 4 days. Mm-hmm. So your uterus is going to be really tired from all the contractions and the Pitocin and, forced contractions. And then to not actually have baby come out, but to have, a C-section and cut through so many layers and then be sore from that on top of that. So I think my recovery was a little more extensive than had it been planned, or just that, because of everything my body had been through. And I just wasn't prepared. I would actually admit that I was kind of naive looking back and not putting in the work that I believe it truly does take to successfully bring a child into this world the way that you want to.
So what type of work would you say it takes to bring a child into the world successfully?
I think, well, one, if you're an anxious person or have a little bit of white coat syndrome like I do, I think that could have been some work that I did prior to birth to, have some coping skills in that area. Because once again, you're a first-time mom, you kind of are just going with it, no matter how much education you seek, And then also power of the tongue and speaking what you want, but also in putting in the work. Like, I wish I would have meditated more. I wish I would have did everything I could, like diet-wise, which we found out after we even found out years afterward what may have caused me to have preeclampsia and hypertension at the time, unknowingly, because it showed up in other pregnancies and didn't result in preeclampsia. So those are, a little bit of the work that I wish I would have done prior to avoid those situations.
So eating better, stretching, taking care of your mental, in terms of just meditating and focusing on having a successful birth. I think you did a good job. We did a good job of going to the birth classes. So you did, I feel like information wise, you did a good job of preparing. You weren't just slacking, it's going to be a breeze. You weren't doing all that, but
no,
you did. I mean, the things you named probably they could have been better. Yeah.
I just think also with what we know of home birth now, having experienced it and what my perception of an unmedicated, non-hospital birth was, don't compare now. Okay. Especially having experienced it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I was so naive to just hope this was going to happen.
Right. So switching over from a C-section to the vaginal birth, and for you it was a VBAC because you tried to have the vaginal birth initially and we weren't successful. A
VBAC stands for vaginal birth after cesarean, for those of you who don't know.
Right. What made you choose to go vaginally after you had been cut open?
For me, it was, we've had to have conversations, even when we were first dating, that we had always wanted a big family, for max 5 kids. Yeah. And I knew that it was not recommended to have more than 3 cesareans. Okay. There are cases in which people have more, if there's time in between and stuff like that. But you and I did not really want to take time. Right. In fact, I told you once we start, we can't stop because, I want all my children really close in age. And I wanted to sacrifice a certain amount of years instead of doing it over, a longer period of time. So I think there was a lot of motivating factors for me to push for a VBAC. And I mean, you were there. We were in doctor's appointments rebuking what people were saying. We literally, we literally stopped talking to people who were speaking against what we wanted or joking about it in a way. And, we were doing so much work within ourselves and kind of mind, body, spirit to really accomplish this goal for the sake of our family. We really wanted a big family. So that was a big motivating factor for me. Also, a cesarean is a major surgery.
Right.
And I don't even think that I realized how much I use my core until it was cut up. And then just, oh my gosh, the recovery, it was not a fun recovery at all. I mean, I don't think any surgical recovery is fun, but I think I'd take a knee surgery over that any day. And I've had 3 knee surgeries.
Yeah, it was a tough situation in terms of just the recovery. I think just it wasn't tough for me. I was just for you, helping you up, and I know you can do anything on your own, really.
Yeah.
changing the majority of diapers, doing that type of thing. I mean, but that's like just what the team's for. But I mean, I saw you go through that, and then seeing you go through the VBAC was just a surprise. I was like, oh,
Night and day.
yeah, what?
Hey, Mama. Thank you for joining us. Motherhood never ends, and neither should our fellowship. Make sure you join our community so we can do life together and be the village that we've always wanted and needed.
So can you speak to that, how that was different, like emotionally and physically for you?
Before I do that, I just want to shout you out because you really did change like all of the baby's diapers, like the first 2 months almost.
My dog.
And, you know, I know that that's not every woman's experience, even with such an extreme, you know, a serious surgery as a C-section. So thanks for holding it down.
Gotcha.
And then what was the question?
How did it differ after you...
Oh, the recovery.
Yeah, the recovery. How was it different for you emotionally and physically?
Well, I even look back at some of the pictures from that moment, and there is just such a triumphant joy across my face. No, it's like I can look at a picture and put myself right in that moment, and I just remember like being like, "Oh my God, I did it! Like,
Right.
We did it! Like,
Right.
wow! Like,
That was it?
not that was it."
Oh, okay.
But no, like I was just, I mean, we had a scare. Do you remember right before the nurse had tried to flip me on my other side, and we didn't know that the cord was wrapped. And all of a sudden baby's heart rate dropped and like 10 people were in the room.
Yeah.
And that was really scary. And then so I flipped back over and everything leveled out, and then she was there, you know, soon after.
Yeah.
But the recovery was night and day. My God. We came home from the hospital the next evening, and I gave our first a bath. Like walked right in, picked her up. This is not medical advice. I should not have done that.
Right.
Looking back, I was just, that was the first time I had also been away from our oldest for overnight ever. I was sore, but not anything more than a workout and I was very blessed to not tear as well.
Let me ask you this though. What do you think moms should stay away from in recovering from a C-section, in your opinion?
Oh, I mean, your medical provider will give you a list, but definitely lifting. There was a trick that the nurse showed me how to do where if I had to cough or sneeze, like to press a pillow up against the incision, because that's a really scary feeling to sneeze. And just to make sure you have all of your support lined up. I think one of the worst things I always hear about a C-section mama who doesn't really have the support is that the incision opens. And so just delaying that recovery even longer. It's a major surgery, and I feel like people don't really treat it like that because they happen so often.
So we got home, we had the babies, we went C-section versus the vaginal birth with the epidural. There was epidural.
Yes.
That wasn't part of the birth plan either.
No, it wasn't. I really wanted to do it without the epidural. However, it's so interesting because when you research birth and labor and the progressions of it and transition is generally where women usually feel like they can't do it anymore. And I hit that point after 26 hours and Pitocin. And I was unaware that baby was sunny side up. And so I was having back labor on top of that. And I was doing fine until my water broke.
Then what happened?
There was no more cushion for the push-in. And I felt like my...
You said, it was what?
No, stop. There was no more cushion. There was no more like cushion for the water from the water. No, there just wasn't any more cushion. So every time I had a contraction, I just felt like my spine was going to snap.
Jeez.
Because of how baby was positioned on my spine. If you've had back labor, let me know below what that was like for you, because the only way I can explain it is that my spine literally felt like it was just going to...
It's like when after you just like doing rows, like that kind of...
If you
I'm
ever,
just playing. Moms,
if you
moms, I'm just
ever,
playing. Moms, I'm just playing. That's a jokey joke.
you're gonna be
They finna go crazy in the comments.
man.
Let me see you do it.
Right.
Wrap the watermelon around your belly.
I know. Let's
Here
hook
we
you up
go.
to a little cramp machine
Put the melons
thing.
right
See
here.
if you
Let's
can
see if you
handle
can
a
take it.
contraction.
Blame Eve.
Don't do that.
I'm just playing.
Don't do that.
Oh, but she over there. Look at that fruit. Let's take a bite. Yo.
This would be an entire
I got a
episode.
question. If you see Eve right now, she's about to grab that fruit. What would you say to her?
I'd say, girl, where your man at?
Don't play. No, don't play. If you see Eve and she finna grab
Go
that
back to your man.
Time out.
go back to your man. Just go back to your man.
No.
God gave him very specific instructions. You came from his rib. Don't let this snake seduce you.
Oh man.
And go back to your man. And then Adam would have another chance to protect his woman
Oh my god.
and guide her and lead appropriately.
He was leaving. Oh, never mind. We're gonna leave it alone. Okay. That's what you tell Eve.
Go back to your man.
And that baby look.
Oh, baby, I think I'm... Oh, hi there.
Like, man, this is great. No, I'm just like, all right, man. Okay.
Oh, no.
Man, shooting them out.
Oh, no.
Eve, you done slowed the process. Nah, I'm playing. All right. Okay. Oh, man, that's funny.
Hey mama, just a quick pause here. I hope you're really enjoying this content. Remember, motherhood feels better when you're rested, supported, and connected. So if you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe to the channel to join our community of thriving, rested mamas. We'd love to have you a part of our village. Let's get back to it.
In terms of the recovery, we know was fast. Did that encourage you to have more babies after you did the VBAC?
Oh, my gosh. Well, see, here's the thing is that was my experience with a vaginal birth with a cesarean. A vaginal birth with an epidural. Mm-hmm. And so what's interesting is that I remember walking away from that birth and I was like, I felt pressure. Like I felt, like all the things. I thought I felt all the things.
Yeah.
I did not feel all of the things. Mamas who use the epidural, yes, if you feel something, it's most likely pressure, right? From baby moving down and crowning and things like that. But there were things I didn't experience until I did it without an epidural.
It was busting.
And I'm just really grateful, actually, for the VBAC with the epidural because it gave me experience for the next birth. And I often say that my birth experiences just got better every time.
Yeah.
Like they just improved every time, right? So if you wrote an essay for the first time and just turned it in without like working at it and fixing it, right? Then there would be a lot of errors.
Okay.
If I took the time to edit it and put it through, then it'd probably be a lot better.
Right.
If I took it and I had someone else look at it, they'd probably catch things that I didn't catch. Right. So it just gets better. And that's literally how my births were. Like everything just got better with time because I was able to make small improvements every time or tackle small feats every single time.
Perfect.
Instead of being hit with it all at one time.
Right.
And so sometimes I'm not sure if it would have been better to have an all natural birth the first time and that just be all that I know. But I'm also really grateful that God can use me as a testimony of what these experiences were like. Yeah. And so I can't only speak to women who have had home water births. I can speak to women who have had cesareans. Speak to women who have had emergency C-sections. I can speak to women who have had an epidural or don't have an epidural. Yeah. And I think that has always made me a really...
water birth too.
Yeah. And a hospital birth unmedicated. Mm-hmm. And I think that has given me a lot of pride in the social circles that I work in to be able to communicate what that experience was like for me in hopes of helping another mama.
So what would you tell, I know you've told them a lot, but what would you just give a quick note to moms out there who have had babies or who are about to have babies? What would you give them in terms of advice? Like a one-liner, what would you say?
As far as the birth process?
Yes.
A one-liner?
See, I know you're about to try to give an essay. Yeah, you gotta
Oh,
give one
man.
line. The most
one-liner.
The most important thing that's applicable to all your births. What would you tell them?
Have a plan and do everything you can to stick to it.
Got it. That was lovely. Don't forget to subscribe, share, like, comment, all the good stuff. Send it to the mamas, all that stuff.
Yes. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you. And we hope to see you back next time.
Big deuces, baby.